me, John Urban. Here we are months later, 20,000 at the state capitol, and Wisconsin has risen as never before. In every village and town, by the hundreds of thousands, we have risen. Every nation in the world knows the name Wisconsin. And after we had done all this, why on earth would Wisconsinites accept the poison that has been prescribed for us? Why? We've turned the tide. We've turned the tide. We don't back down. It's time for Scott Walker to back down. You've heard the calls for the recalls. You've heard the calls to get out for the elections next year. But in the next month, we have a struggle that we are in the midst of. And that is a struggle to reject this state budget. We reject this budget. We reject this budget. It is a budget which has weakened and divided Wisconsin as never before. It's done that because it targets millions of Wisconsinites, millions of us, friends to push people who are struggling to survive below the surface. And the budget, of course, it wasn't drawn up through public hearings. There were meetings in small rooms that took place between politicians and corporate lobbyists. And they came up with their plans to tax the poor, to feed the rich. And we say, we reject your budget! 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 We reject their budget. And now the legislature has to decide. Those individual legislators have to decide. Do they continue to play along? Or do they finally wake up and listen to their constituents in every part of the state who have said, vote this budget down, start again, go to the people, ask us what our priorities are, and we'll see what they decide. We'll see what they decide. Wake up! That's right. I heard the shout, wake up. But I'll tell you, whether we win today or whether we win tomorrow, the drive for democracy in Wisconsin will continue to move forward. Because this is not just about budget priorities and economic justice. On this day in which we had the invocation for the call for Jubilee. It is not merely a call for economic justice, it is a call for democracy in Wisconsin. We need to clean up state government. We need to make sure this never happens before. We need to kick the corporate lobbyists out of the Capitol. This will happen again if we let it. What we are involved in today is not a struggle for the soul of Wisconsin. It is a struggle for the survival of Wisconsin. And because we are fiercely proud of our state, because we love Wisconsin, because we love the progressive tradition, which is synonymous with Wisconsin, we will fight, we will win, we will bring the drive for democracy forward. And we have proven today that we have the ability to turn tens of thousands out of the Capitol whenever we so choose. So both of you, in this capital of democracy, beware! I'll tell you one other thing. Just yesterday, I was blessed, my wife and I were blessed with 5 eagles, 5 bald eagles out in Richland County. And she turned to me and she said, you know, we're not Native American, right? But if we were, we would know they were telling us something. They're saying,
Independence is going to come back to Wisconsin. We're going to win this fight. I take that as a sign. Well, thank you for everything you're doing. And I want to introduce the next senator.